Alright, we're gonna get started here in just a minute. I gotta send out some notifications. Let me also check the audio. Okay. So, apologies if I'm a bit sniffly. I am still a little bit sick. Not much, not like very sick, but you know, it's still lingering. I was incredibly sick a few days ago. Like barely could get out of bed, kind of sick. So it is nice to be back. Oh, my cat wants to play. What he doesn't know is, I'm not doing that, especially not now. Okay, I'm going to talk a little bit about what this is. So I've done a few things off stream because I wanted to play and not stream. I just wanted to play. So I'm building a faster transport belt, the version 2 little factory here, and then got a few more things, like I'm building rails here and refining better concrete up here. So that's basically all that changed. I was just messing around. Oh, I also cleared out a big portion of the map up here because the plan is today to set up a bigger factory up here with like the big main bus and everything. So that should be fun. Let's see how much I get to. I don't have a ton of time. What is this? Oh, it's my defense. And I also don't know how I'm going to interface this section with this. Because the idea when I set this up was that it would be a kind of jumping off point for a bigger factory. But I don't like how the rails are set up here. I put everything too close together, so the rail size is too small. Like if we look here, these are all one-size trains. We're just not moving the material that's needed for that. So the plan would be to set up some sort of interface between this refinery and a main bus through this section of the factory. Ooh, I'll have to go take this out too, because this could start causing problems. In fact, maybe I do that first, and down here. Although these couldn't really get after me that much, so it'll be fine. It's on peaceful anyway, so these shouldn't come after me, right? Unless I go near them. And then I'd also like to talk about something that is not related to the game at all. So, there is a YouTube, it does like educational stuff, and one of the things that he has done, this is, I hope I'm getting it right, CGP Gray. One of the things that he's done is instead of doing, like yearly resolutions, he is doing what he calls themes. So instead of saying like, this year I'm gonna lose 30 pounds, or this year I'm gonna read this many books, right? That kind of sets you up for failure in some cases. Not in all cases, obviously, but in some cases that can set you up for failure. What he does instead is he sets up this is the year of a theme. So it could be like the year of family, or the year of reading if you do want to read more books. And so I did this year, and I actually found some success with it. And I thought it'd be good to put out what my theme was for last year, because I don't think I did publicly tell anyone about it. Not even my family. I don't think I even told my family about it. And then talk about maybe what my theme is going to be for next year, because I have thought about it quite a bit. So this might be a bit... You'd probably have to know me a bit better to understand why this is a theme that I thought was important. Actually, let me really quick lay out where I want this interface to be. I'm going to shoot for right here. Map, where is that? That's at a tag. Wait, does it align to me? Okay, let's ping here. Okay, so I often have trouble with setting goals for myself and sticking to them. Okay, so we're gonna go right here. This should be okay. Not necessarily like... I can have trouble giving up on things that should be more important to me than it might seem like. If you've seen how I handle some situations. So in the past, I've had this mentality of when things get difficult, shutting down. Right? This could be like emotionally difficult or physically difficult. And so it's really hindered me from doing a lot of the things that I've wanted to do, that I know I can do, but there's just too much hassle involved. So this could be things like wanting to learn more, right? It's always a big thing. I really enjoy learning, but there's a lot involved in that, right? You have to schedule a time to be learning when you're doing that. You kind of can't just... It's hard to just pick up a new skill or something. Out of nowhere. And so I wanted to correct that, right? It's a behavior I think is probably not great for my health and my success. And I wanted to fix it, right? So in CGP Gray's yearly theme, he says that you should pick a word for the theme that is maybe not completely accurate to what the goal is, but that elicits the emotional response corresponding to the result that you're looking for. So, sorry, trying to talk and play a game is a little difficult still, especially being sick. I feel very not on top of thinking. Is this refined? No. Right, so you want to pick a theme that you have an emotional response to. So last year my theme was the year of conquering, which doesn't necessarily mean like going and taking over something else, but more so conquering my own discipline. And that's not to say I was completely disciplined the whole year. I made plenty of mistakes, but just thinking more about what I want and what needs to happen on my part, what I need to do in order to make the things I want to happen. And then once I figure that out, sticking to it. Right? Because deciding that you want to do something is easy, but taking steps to do something is hard. It's way more difficult than deciding. So I did do that. I didn't set any specific goals at the beginning of the year. I did midway through pick some things, because once I'd kind of figured out the whole year of conquering thing, it was very simple to do it, which is surprising because I've struggled with it so much. And those mid-year goals that I set out, I don't think a single one of them. Actually, I'll take a look. Let me pull this up on the side. And I will read out what my mid-year goals were. Where are they? This is how you know I don't know what they are, because I clearly have not looked for them in a while. Okay, here we go. Goals 2023. I wrote these in like July. Number 1, lose 30 pounds. That did not happen. Oh, number 2, find a place to live. I did that, right? Finish the first drafted prototype of a board game I've been designing for a year. That did not happen. I don't even think I worked on it once. Write a storytelling AI. I didn't finish it. I did work on it. Practice piano for 30 minutes every day. That did not happen. It happened for like a month. So I got further than that in basically everything else. And then reach 1300 chess elo on chess.com. That one I did not achieve, not for a lack of trying. It's just that chess is really difficult, and the progression that I saw when I started did not continue. Once I hit 1100, I had a stall that is still continuing. Though I am still improving, it's just the difference between an 1100 player and a 1200 player is apparently bigger than... I think it's bigger than like 7 to 800, right? Just because there's more variance. When you're playing against 700, 800 players, the goal there is to stop blundering your pieces constantly. And once you figure out how to stop blundering your pieces, there's no more improvement you need to make to start beating 7 and 800 rated players. But once you get to like 11, 1200, it's less about stopping blundering. Obviously, you need to not be making mistakes like that, but it's more about finding interactions between the pieces that you weren't seeing before. And that is difficult because there's so many interactions and you have to learn so much now. Like the amount of information you have to like take in and process and remember in game when you're playing, and keeping like collecting yourself, making sure you're not letting your nerves completely take the wheel, is so much higher than when I was a 700 rated player. Which is, you know, it's not like I'm really upset. I'm not like, I don't cry in my sleep at night about not being a 1300 rated chess player. Mostly because it does not get me any status with the people in my life. No one in my life cares that I play chess at all. Like, not one bit do people actually care. I care because it's a game I enjoy playing. But like, I called my mom one night and I was like, Mom, you're not gonna believe it, I just hit 900 on chess.com. And she goes, what's chess.com? A few times I've told her that I got like a cool rating or I played a really, really good game, and she just goes, I love you, but I don't care. She's very supportive though, just not with chess. Mostly because I don't think she really cares about chess at all. Like most people, it's not very big in America. What do I have? I don't need 91 sand. Oh. I don't want to just walk out on the tracks because I did that earlier and I died. It was hilarious. It really scared me. I was working on a path that I thought was more inefficient for the trains to take, and apparently it was not. They just slammed right into me. So, what I don't think this year was, or this theme was very good for, is working on that concept of pushing past my undisciplined behavior. In a way that is healthy, right? So I kind of had this Machiavellian thing of I'm going to do whatever it takes to make sure that the things I want to happen this year happen, even if it means sacrificing my health. Obviously, I would never want to like sacrifice anyone else. That would be crazy of me. But in terms of like working myself to an unhealthy level, I did that probably more than is reasonable for a human being to do, especially after some things that happened last year. So I had a few instances of like nervousness to the point of waking up in the morning and throwing up, right? That you should never ever feel like that. And if you do, you should probably see a doctor. Because from what I've heard from everyone I've talked to about it, that's not quite a healthy response to like working hard. So definitely not like the brightest time. Although I am still proud that I pulled it off. I won't say exactly what I've gotten done this year because some of it is personally identifying information, right? So I did get a lot done, a lot to be proud of. I was feeling a little bit down this year because I'm like, man, what did I really do? Did I really do what I set out to do, right? Because I set those goals and I didn't do any of them. Or you know, the one goal of finding a place to live, right? But that's not really difficult around here. And so I was all down in the dumps about this, and then I looked at like my actual achievements for the year, and I did some really impressive stuff, things that actually impressed even myself, right? I knew I had it in me to be able to do those things. Like I knew I was capable, but knowing that I could push myself past the difficulty and actually conquer what I wanted to do, right? And work really, really hard to make sure it got done is very heartening. Like now I don't ever have to be worried about if I need to only sleep for 3 hours for 2 months straight every night. Could I do that? I can do that. I know that now. Is it healthy? No. Will I be worse off for it in the long term? Maybe. But if it's something that really, really needs to get done, I can do it. And I'm proud to know that. Right? It makes me very happy to know that. But that's not sustainable. So this year my theme is going to be a bit different. I still want to tie in that idea of discipline and making sure that I'm disciplined. But I don't want it to be at the cost of my health. Right? Because I already know, like, my health is not the best. And if anything, I shouldn't be taking steps that negatively affect my health. I should be doing things to make myself healthier at the cost of something. The cost of anything else, really. Like, it's not worth the potential risk that caring about my projects and my success comes along with. So this year, I think I'm going to go with the year of flexibility. I want to, and not flexibility as in like physically flexible, but the idea that I can push myself without having to hurt myself to do it. Which is, I think, what flexibility is. Like, if you think in a physical sense, flexibility is the idea that you can push your body further without injuring it. Right? Like, if I tried to do the splits right now, I've never trained to do the splits. I have no reason to. But if I tried, I'd, like, break all of the bones in my pelvis. Is there more than one bone in your pelvis? I don't know. I'd break them all. That should be fine, right? Yeah, that's fine. Okay, we need more rail. Where's this gonna go? So this goes up to here. I could try and like cut back across here. Or we send this rail up here and around, and I just have a... No, because I don't want this rail line to tie in with any of the other ones. Right, I just want this to be an interface with this kind of starter rail line, so I can finish extracting the resources here. And then all of the new ones are going to be better. So maybe just have this rail go around this base and back down. It should be fine. And that kind of encloses the whole starter area I have. And then I'll set up like a storage area here. And this will tie into like the main bus for the factory. I think that's good. I think that's good. Okay, let's work on that. So, another thing that CGP Grey talks about with themes is that the themes are flexible, right? When you set out on a theme, it doesn't always mean at the end of the year what it meant when you started. So, like if you set the theme of family and you think at the start of the year you want to see more of your family, right? It could be that at the end of the year you actually need to set boundaries with your family, and that's what the theme means. Not just seeing more of them, but understanding a healthy relationship with those people. I think this flexibility could change, right? That this idea of flexibility that I'm talking about could completely change. I'm not sure how it would change. I don't think, like if I knew how it would change, maybe I would just incorporate it now, right? So I can't tell the future, no matter how hard I try. And I think it'll be interesting. But what are some things I want to do this year that I think would be beneficial? not just that I want to do, but that I think would be beneficial, and that I think I could do flexibly without having to push myself to an unreasonable limit. And I think I've come up with a small list, or maybe I'll just brainstorm a small list of things that would be nice to do, not even goals. There's one thing I have to do, which I can't talk about. That's just a project for someone else that needs to get done soon. Because I said I would, right? That's a promise. I don't want to break that. I should have done it sooner, but again, I often have times, sticking to that kind of thing. So, what are some things I'd like to do? One thing I'd like to do is keep doing this. I've had so much fun streaming, even though there's not been many people here to hang out with. It's nice to talk about stuff. It's just nice to talk about stuff. I'm afforded very little time to just speak about what I'm thinking in the moment for any reason. There's just not the place for it, right? And I think a lot of thoughts, which is not always a good thing. Sometimes I think too many thoughts, and then it gets in my own way. Which is why I'm talking very slowly, because I want to think before I speak. I didn't used to. When I was a kid, I would often just talk without thinking about what I was saying, and it would get me in a lot of trouble. Way, way, way more trouble than having people know that thought existed was worth. Like, not even bad stuff, just irrelevant garbage that spewed out of my mouth. Which I think ultimately made talking with me a little bit less fun. Oh, it is very upset with me about that. Oh. Well, I forget what I was even saying. I also like this because this is like setting up boundaries for this area, which is very cool. I could like tile all this in with concrete and it would look pretty nice. Yeah, oh yeah, I was talking about streaming. So yeah, this has been a lot of fun, even if there's very few people here to talk back to me. But that's, not why I'm doing this. So I don't care that much. I'd also like to... I have an idea for a mod for this game that would be fun to do. I don't know what writing software on stream would be like, but that might be a fun idea to explore. I know there are some people who do it. I just don't know how popular it would be, or if like there's some merit to this, right? Where I'm at least like sharing my thoughts, but sharing my thoughts on software dev is not always super important for anyone. Shoot. I should have changed this up a bit. And then, I've already talked about this, but there was a whole thing around Christmas this year with family that made me realize that I really do, that I still really want to learn how to play the piano well, and so that other people want to listen to me play. It's something I've pushed off, right? Like a lot of things. Now I just went on for 10 minutes about it. And I just don't want to have to worry about that anymore. So why not just fix it? It's also a really good way for me to relax. Oh, nice. Okay, so this is done completely, right? No, this needs to go the other way. This actually needs to go down here. Okay, let's save ourselves a bit of travel time. So, what do I think my strategy should be for implementing this sort of theme? I think that this will come with a lot more reliance on planning before I start things than I would normally give. So this year up to now has been a lot of relying on the old adage of man plans and God laughs. Right? It's the idea that if you have a plan, you can try as hard as you want to stick to your plan. But just because you tried hard on your plan does not mean that you will see success in any way. It's the idea that the universe does not care about you at all. That it's indifferent to you entirely. And so any attempt to try and decide how the universe is going to treat you is nonsensical at best. And catastrophic at worst, because if you rely on a plan and you have no backup, that's just asking for failure. So it was kind of, I'm going to push through everything. I'm just going to push through. And if the universe doesn't want me to do this, I'm going to do whatever it takes to do it regardless. Which is not a healthy way to live your life, I have to say. Sorry. Let's head back up there, because I'm going to craft some stuff. Enough iron and everything. I'm running a little low on steel, but I can grab it. And so this year I want to try and plan a bit more. Make sure that I have ideas for what might happen if plans don't go the way I want them to. Oh, this is all full of wood. Okay. And then plan with myself in mind, right? Don't just push through on a bad plan when I know it's gonna not pan out. And especially when other people tell me it's not gonna pan out. And I think sticking to that, I might actually see some more success than I had previously. I needed to grab more concrete. Oh, I did. Need steel. Okay, I'm gonna give my voice a quick rest. Okay. I think that's enough about themes, right? We've talked for nearly 45 minutes about it. Frankly, I don't know what else there is to say about it. Like it seems like I've got all of the thoughts that I had out of my head. So instead, let's discuss this idea I had for a mod. Or at least let me mull through some ideas I had. Okay, what do I need here? Before I continue, I need a path for iron, copper, steel, coal, wood, and oil. Because it's all the minerals I have over there. Oh, and then I'll want to bring, if I can, belts, steel, glass, stuff like that over here too. So, there's one thing I've noticed about this game that I don't like. And it's the enemies. I really don't like how they have the enemies done in this game. And obviously, I enjoyed the game, right? I'm still playing it constantly. So it's nothing like, oh, I don't like this game. No, this game is great. It's just the enemies are not my favorite. And I would even go so far as to say kind of annoying. So what do I think could be added? I think that the whole spawn system for the enemies could be completely redone. The idea that they just kind of exist in these colonies that are all separate is weird. Right? The idea that these all, like, little colonies of enemies don't have any sort of leadership is weird. The idea that there's only two types of enemies, right? There's biters and there's spitters. Oh, and then the tentacle guys, but they're static, they don't really count. Is also weird. And the idea that these buildings that they make are they seem strange. They just seem like they exist to spawn the enemies. Right, because these spawn and then they hang out near here and then they don't do anything else. It seems like the enemies should be moving around. Or have some sort of, like, hunting behavior or societal behavior other than staying in one spot. So updating that would be cool. Adding different types of enemies. So what I've actually thought about is an enemy that in large enough groups could act as like an EMP. So if they collect in one spot, like maybe they are kind of separate small groups like these are, but if you make enough of them angry, they can coalesce into a group of enemies that could disrupt power, like electrical power, is a fun idea. And the idea that maybe there could be different technology to fight them specifically, right? Because what is an EMP would not affect coal-powered units, right? So if you had like coal-powered turrets or something, then it wouldn't be affected, which would be a fun idea. Okay, I'm gonna give my throat another break so I'm not like thrashing my voice for next week. Okay, this should be good enough. Let me do all the signaling for this. So trains enter on this side. They enter on this side? Yeah, they enter on this side, they exit on this side. So here, here, here. We'll need a bunch of these. We'll need warehouses out here. That'd take a ton of resources. So what else would this mod include? Or what else could mods include? I think there's space for more kind of player versus player stuff. Not necessarily in like combat sense, but it seems like there should be a game mode for like factory building competitions. So like every little bit it pulls to see who has more of what resource. I don't know how you do that exactly, but and then it could assign points for whoever has the most or whatever. That sort of thing. Okay, that's cool. What does this look like? This? Yeah. Oh, I'm actually coming up on time, so I'm gonna call it here. I might work a bit on this off stream. But yeah, this was fun. Alright, everyone who stopped by, thank you.